Can you believe I have never played with perfect pearls before? How could I have missed this product? It's so shiny and shimmery. So today, I'm going to have a first go. First off, let me just read a little bit about this product. Notice I have perfect pearls and perfect pins. Perfect pearls came in a set with, see, what is this? A gold, and this is probably just a white or silver. It has the perfect medium, which is an ink that goes with it, and a little brush that you use to apply the perfect pearl powders. And also I picked up some perfect pins because as art journalers, right, we love leaving our own mark, our own text and writing. And I thought it would be fun to just try these out. So let me read a little bit about what this is, and then we'll try it out, okay? So, create dazzling pearlescent effects with perfect pearls and perfect medium. Specially developed with a built-in resin, perfect pearls pigment powders, say that 5 times fast, are easy to use, wet or dry. Use with perfect medium ink and letter it clear stamps, or of course you could use it with any kind of stamps, right? With the pens, it says, to create your own hand lettering, doodles, and designs. And this also can be combined with water and a water brush or paintbrush to get painted pearlescent effects. So you could use these with your watercolors if you wanted to, or with very wet media. This says you can stamp with perfect medium or ink or write with the pen, and you put the brush the powders over it, and then you gently wipe away the excess powder with a different brush, and then you mist it with water to set. So that's all you have to do to set it, is to mist it with water, and then make sure you let that dry, and the resin in here will be activated, and then boom, perfect, right? No pun intended. All right, so I'm going to open these up. Let's see, this is have different instructions. I said I was going to open it up, but draw or write. Apply perfect pearls the same way with the brush. Get rid of the excess powder. You could do hand lettering with this if you're a hand letterer. Of course, I'm not a hand letterer, but if you were, you could use these to do your own fancy, fantastic writing, and then use the powders with it. I also picked up an extra little jar of perfect pearls besides this one. So this is the one I picked up because I loved this really beautiful blue turquoise color. And so we're just going to try it out and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to open this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have my perfect pearls all open, and I have a few things to play with them with. So one thing you could do is use stencils with them. You can use stamps with them. So I have some stamps and stencils, and you can use them with chipboard. And I have a variety of papers just to try them out on. Craft paper, a white tag, a black tag. I have this paper that I sprayed with Dina's acrylic sprays, which is glossy, but that's a little different, right, than pearlescent. So we'll test this out a little bit. And then I have this star stamped tag that I haven't done anything with. So let's first just try it out the really most basic way, which would be to put down some ink, some perfect medium sticky ink. Now you can use other kinds of ink with this, but this is the one that is the most recommended. It's the one that goes with it, right? But any kind of sticky ink and you can use with these. So let's just try it with this, and I'll just start with the Dina stamp just to make it pretty simple. And I'll do words, right? Should I do words? Let me just do the texture one because that's the one I really want to try. And, you know, this is my project, right? So let me just move these over a little. I have some paper to catch the excess of the powder, so I can move it out of the way. And I need an extra brush. I'll just use this really soft brush to get rid of the excess, right? Okay, so I think I have all my supplies here together. I'm just going to ink up my stamp here. And as if I were doing this in an art journal, I can tell how sticky this ink is compared to, say, the archival ink or that sort of thing. I can hear its stickiness, right? So I'm going to set a baby wipe over here to the side so I can just put my stamp on there face side down when I'm finished. I also have a little spritz bottle of water. Now the mini misters would be perfect, but my mini mister is missing. So how's that for alliteration? Perfect Pearls Pigmented Powders and mini mister is missing. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp with this sticky ink on my black paper. Just for texture, right? That's the way I use it a lot, is for texture. And I'll set my stamp face side down there, just to make it easier to get that ink. I think you can see this, how shiny that sticky ink is. And now let's see what we can do with the Perfect Pearl powders, pigment powders. I'm going to start with this turquoise because that's the color that I really, really was dying for. Because, of course, the gold will look fantastic. So I'll just set this lid aside here. Let me move my pins over. We'll try that in a little bit. And I'm just going to brush over. Oh, I got a lot more powder than I expected with this brush. Oh my gosh. Oh my, I really haven't used these before, guys, and I love shiny. Look how this is going to look on this black. So I ended up with a lot of powder. I didn't know how much to use, right? So I'll just tap this off and then brush it off with this. Look at that. That's super easy. Wow. I had no idea. No idea. Now look at that fabulous texture on there that we created. Look how shiny. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to use this tag now. Now I could probably keep brushing and working at it, but you know, I'm not really that worried about that. But look at that. Look how pretty. Oh my goodness, it shows up so well on this black. Oh, I was excited before, but man, I am really excited now. So let's try. Let me clean this up. Let me clean it up because I have to. And I don't want to waste, right? We don't like to waste. We like to conserve and use all of our products because they're so fabulous. All right, and then I'll set this paper aside. Well, actually, I'll probably use this. Should I use the same color? No, not going to use the same color, so. Ooh, shiny. Okay, I'm sorry. I love shiny, guys. I love it. So, you know, when I use my watercolors, I love adding that metallic shine. Let's do this. Let's try. I'm going to brush this off. Just get some of that blue off of there. I don't care if they mix, but you might, so just take care with your brush to tap it off and brush it off to get any excess powder out of there. So let's do, I think this color, what color is this anyway? I wonder if it says on the packaging. I don't see the name of this color. It's, you know, white or silver. I think it's white. And then this one is gold. Oh, I see. Sorry. This one is Sunflower Sparkle. And this one is Perfect Pearl. Okay, I just needed to read. Okay, got it. All right, let's try. Let's see, this is a bullet point and this is a brush nib. So let's just try out the Perfect pens. I have the brush nib. And I'm just going to do some scribbly writing, right? And turn my tag and just write like sgraffito. I need to slow down. I can see that right now. And this sinks in a little bit more to this paper than the other one did to that other tag, but I can kind of go over it. And I'm not going for perfection, right? I'm just going for the look of some sort of handwritten thing. And I'll put some little dots around because that sounds fun. You guys, this is so fun. I didn't know. I mean, Look at that. That's fabulous. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me do this one. This is going to look cool on the craft paper. I'm telling you. This perfect pearl is going to look so cool on the craft paper. And it may have a little bit of the blue because I probably didn't clean my brush very well. And this time I'm going to tap off my brush since I know I had so much powder last time. And then swirl it on. Well, I didn't get quite enough that time, did I? So work it out. You know, you have to work out a balance. Also, I think that this doesn't go on as thick as the ink in this little pad. The pen doesn't. So, wow. Now, I am quite sure that I can put this over acrylics or anything like that. So this is pretty subtle. Probably because I need to go slower with the pen. I'm learning here, right? We're learning. Never used perfect pearls before, so I can't promise how any of these results are going to turn out. This is all an experiment. So tap that off and then brush it off. I can see that the texture of this tag grabs the perfect pearls a little bit more. And but it's still coming off pretty nicely. Ooh, look. So that's really pretty. It's nice. It's a silvery chrome color. At least it looks that way on this tag. Kind of a chrome color. So let me, again, clean up. So I just realized that I forgot a very important step, which is going to make the perfect pearls stay. And that is to mist with water. So I've got my little mister here. I'm going to do a spray test to the side. This is a very fine mist. I recommend that you use a very fine mist. The distress sprayer is probably too big of a drops for this, and you don't want to wet your entire project, so just a fine mist. Some people even spray in the air and then wave the tag or whatever through it. I have quite a bit. I need to also just hold it further away. That would work also. I have it too close. So I'll let these dry. You could dry them with the heat tool, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Set this aside and let's keep playing. Want to? We'll keep playing. I am excited now. This is fun. All right, let's just see. I'm going to flip that over. It's okay. Let's just see how it looks on just a white tag. I love using Dina's white tags. I used to not know what to do with them. Now I love using them. They're fantastic. I'm afraid that these words are too small, but you know what? I shouldn't be afraid, right? I should rise above. So let me get rise above out, and I'm going to get this face. This is the Refuse to Be Ordinary stamp set, and I love it. I love the scribbliness of everything. So I'm actually going to use both of these stamps, and I will go back to my perfect medium. Now, I'm not going to get perfect stamps because, well, one thing, I'm not using an acrylic block. So I may not even cover the whole thing with ink very well. And I just want to do like part of this stamp. Not even the whole thing, just some part of it. I don't even know how much of it I'll put on there. Maybe a little bit over here too, which I'll stamp in a different spot on my tag. So I just have a plain white tag, right? And I don't know exactly how this will show up on white, but let's just try it and find out what happens. I'll just do my rise above stamp there. I think you can see that ink showing up. And then I have the ink on this part of the face, so let me just stamp that. And I have a little bit down here, which I'll stamp up there. I love mixing up my stamps a little, okay? Setting that on a baby wipe just so I don't have to worry about cleaning that very, very much later. And I think the gold will stand out, so let's try the gold. Oh, sorry, it's sunflower. What's it called? Sunflower sparkle. It definitely looks sunny. All right, here we go. This is not going to stand out as much as it does on the black, right? Because of this white light background. But look, that is so cool. Oh my goodness, I am super happy with this. I wanted to try this, but you know, I really didn't know I would like it this much. That's the thing. I really didn't know. But then once I start playing and having some fun, oh, look how that stuck around that little part a little bit. So clean that off really well. Now, if you don't want to clean it off really well, you don't have to, right? You could always like add a little sparkle here and there like this. I'm just going to tap it on in some places because guess what I'm going to do after this? I'm going to remember to set it with water, right? I'm going to activate the resin and set it with water. Now, I don't want my brush to get wet. I'm moving that out of the way. And I don't have much excess here. I think it'll be cool just to put it on the edges. You know how I like to put stuff on the edges, right? Look at that. Okay, and then I'm just going to set it with the spritz bottle. And I will try to do the thing where you spray in the air and then wipe it through it. Because I feel like that gets, and hold it far, or you just hold it far away. That gives you a good result. Okay, so nice, spritzed with water. Hey, are you having fun? Like, wow, this is so fun. Look at these tags. Let me move this piece of paper. You can maybe see better if I move it. I just really want you to be able to see it better. I feel like you can't see very well. Maybe you can see perfectly. I don't know. All right, look at this. Wow. It's so sparkly and shiny. So this is just raw paper. And you can do it over acrylics and that sort of thing from what I understand. Let me set this aside and we'll play a little bit more. So I thought it would be cool. Let's see. Let's try it inside a stamp shape. So I thought it would be cool to go over where I basically had nothing, right, on this tag. So this is the Dina Wakley acrylic sprays where I sprayed on the stencil for my journal page and then I flipped it over onto the tag. Right, and this is the giant stars. That's the same stencil that I used before. And I think I can just position it over it. Again, I don't care about perfection. I remember that it was face down and at an angle, right? So I can do that. And I could use a blending tool, but I'll just go straight in with the perfect medium here. And just ink up that area where where there is a white star. And actually I'll do this area too. And you know, for fun and enjoyment, let's do this one too. Because why not? Nice. Okay, so that's very nice and sticky. Again, I'm just going to use my baby wipe to keep that from drying on there. I haven't used this ink before, so I don't know how it will affect my stamps and stencils. I'm sorry that I can't tell you for sure, so my best advice is for you to keep it damp until you can dry it off. Okay, so this turquoise will be the perfect color, and we will try this out. So I still have some gold in my brush. I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to, same process, brush it on. Basically, that's how you apply these. Now, I didn't get that lined up perfectly. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Also, didn't get it inked up perfectly. I see some spots that are not shiny. Does that matter? Not really. The little hairs are coming out of the brush. Also doesn't matter. All right. So let's see how this looks. Tap it off. And then brush it off. I do have to use a little bit of pressure to brush off that excess powder. All right. So you may notice that you can see the gloss sprays through there. It's adding a little bit of texture to that star. Nothing wrong with that, again, but it just gives a nice shiny effect. Again, I'll just set it with my water, and then it will be good to go. I could always add a second layer once I set it with my water and it dries, but I'm not going to do that today, but I think you could do it. So guess what? You can read those words. Like, I almost forgot that I was worried about that because it came out so well. Like, I love this little tech. Okay, so just wanted to pop that in there. I have 2 more surfaces I want to try it on. This is a cardstock. It's just covered with acrylic sprays, with Dina's gloss spray, so you can see how it has like some gloss on there. Did this just for fun and with my paper test. And then I have some chipboard, which I thought would be fun to try. And so let me just, I want to try out the bullet pen. So I have the 2 pens that came in the set. There's the brush pen and the bullet pen, bullet nib pen. And I tried the brush before, which made some really nice, right? This was the brush. Really nice lines. I'm not a letterer, guys. I'm not a letterer. It's just sgraffito. It's just scribbly journaling marks. And so I thought it would be fun to try the bullet pen. And I'm just going to just color some little squares on here. Now this isn't going to soak into the paper as much as it did, say, over here, because this is raw paper, but this has acrylic on it already. So that's something, you know, just keep in mind. It's going to sit on top a little bit better, and I bet it will hold the pigment a little bit better. And I'll just do a few, just for fun, right? It's just fun, enjoyment, expression, art, journaling, and sparkly goodness. It's just sparkly goodness. Let's make a few smaller ones. There we go. I don't know how long this takes to dry. I think it takes a little bit, but I don't want to wait too long. And I think that the gold is going to show up best on this paper because these are going to be a little bit too see-through, like we found in this tag, how you can see through it to the color behind. I feel the gold won't be quite, the sunflower sparkle will not be quite as, I don't know, oh, I can do 2 colors. Okay, sorry. This is going to be more opaque, I think, and this won't be, but I'll just transition between the 2 colors, I think. So I'll start with the gold. Tap that off on that brush. I'm learning. And just go right over that. And then pick up some turquoise and overlap that a bit. This would have been cool to do with the stars. Have it multi-toned, right? Tap that off. Brush that off. Now this may be kind of subtle because this paper has the gloss sprays on it already, right? So it has some glossiness on it, but it's not quite the same as the pearlescent. Look at that. I love that. You can see that transition to that turquoise. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be using these a lot more. I can tell you. Right now, I can tell you. I'll just leave this for the moment, and I'll do this one, and then I'll mix them both at the same time. Just save a little bit of time. And I think because I loved that combo, I've got the sunflower sparkle, I've got the turquoise, and let's also just do some perfect pearl. And I'll take my, something that was cool was that you could remove some of the perfect pearls. So I think that's what I'll do with this on the wings. Let me do a couple of different techniques. Okay, so I'm going to start by inking up the body of this bee on the chipboard, basically, right? And maybe the legs a little, the head. So I'm inking that up. So I'm combining techniques now. I'm adding the ink, and then the wings do not have the perfect medium, right? I did that on purpose because I want to use this to remove some of the color. So I will start with the turquoise at the head here, and legs. Now, I don't have perfect amount of ink. Some of the chipboard is probably going to show through because of that. Is that okay? It's okay. We're not here to make perfect. Right, now I'm just going to apply the gold, which again, it shows up Oh, that's too much. I'll pick a little bit up back with my brush and wipe my brush off. Okay. Just showing up. So you can see where the ink grabbed it, and then there's no ink on the wings, right? And the Perfect Pearl. And I'll also apply some of that over here. And maybe even a little bit up top here. Okay, so I have nice coverage, and where I had the ink, it's working. Now let me blend that a little bit. Actually, I think I'll add a little more turquoise up here. I feel like I just probably didn't put enough. Maybe I didn't put enough medium. Okay, so I have all of that. Now let me just move this over, bring in my black. The purpose of bringing this in is so you can see it better, right? And I'm going to ink up this stamp with the Perfect Medium. And I'll do, it doesn't matter, just do a little bit of it. This is all an experiment. And now I'm going to put this where I did not put the Perfect Medium before, which is the wings. And it should lift it. Maybe difficult to tell though. Okay, so I think there's a little bit you can see, but it's hard to tell on this. So let's just try it a different way. Just because I want to try that technique. Now, add a bunch, right? This time. Adding bunch. Oh, look, see, that's where it's stamped over. Adding more. There we go. Then we'll use this to stamp it off, okay? So here we go. It's going to lift it. That's the idea, at least. I think that I'm having a little bit of an issue because I have a lot of powder. So let me tap that off a little. And I'm going to try again. And I will use, maybe I'll use a different, maybe I'll use this. I wonder what's going to lift better. Just try and ink this up. Now, I have seen some people use the, like the Misty stamper, and so they can re-ink it and re-stamp it in the same spot, but yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. So let me try again. Press it down. There we go. Now it lifted and you can see that block. I'll have to ink it up again. And lift it some more. Okay, so I'm getting a subtle kind of lifting there. I think that if you can see where that text is, it's pretty subtle lifting, probably because the way this text is, right? So just something to be aware of. And then I can mist this with water and we'll set. So now I have all these things to mist, and then we'll come back and chat about it just a little bit more, and then we'll be done. All right, here's a light misting. I'm gonna make sure that I activate that resin. Now I have a lot of water on this page because it's kind of my overspray area. Look, I left a little bit of that. Okay, this is not the acrylic inks. That's just water. Oh, now you can see more here, the pattern in the wings, which is kind of what I was going for. And if I had done that with a black ink, that would be kind of cool. Okay, I said I was about finished, but let's try this with the archival. Now, I lifted some of that, but you could go over it, right, with your archival ink. And stamp, which I think is pretty cool effect for those wings. So that's kind of cool. And actually, I think I want to just stamp all over it with the archival. But maybe I don't want to use the same. Maybe I'll use this. I'll use this right here. So here's my archival ink. Ink that up. And then it's a bee, right? So that's kind of fun. All right, that's a fun way to use your stamp. Now I do have a little bit of the pearls on there. I'm just, again, just cleaning it off. Cleaning it off. So you can stamp with archival straight over your perfect pearls, right? All right, so let's chat a little bit about the results. I did not get very good results from lifting. I feel like that's operator error, or maybe the stamp I was using. There's probably a better way to lift, but like I said, we're just learning here today, so that's all good. So I'm going to set this one aside and look at the others really quick. So here are our results, and they are absolutely fantastic, I think. I am super excited about how these turned out, and I only have these 3 colors, but you can really create some really cool effects. There are other inks you can use, right? But I use the Perfect Medium. I use the Perfect Medium pens. And look at this shiny, shiny goodness. Look at this chipboard. That's pretty cool. I think I saw Diane Reevely put some UTEE, ultra thick embossing over it, and it looked really cool that way. It made it look really dimensional. I think that would be cool to do, but I don't have any of that right now, so I won't be doing that. But look at this. I mean, beautiful, beautiful. The words came out very clear and super easy to use, right? You just draw or stamp or ink, and then you apply it with a dry brush and brush off the excess, spritz it with water. How simple is that? How simple is that? Wow. All right, so thanks for joining me for this fun Perfect Pearls Play session. The first time I've ever used them, and I am absolutely in love with this product. Okay, thanks so much. I'll see you very soon. Hey guys, I thought of one more way to use these. I know you can use them as watercolors, so let's put them on the craft sheet and let's just put some water on there. And sort of like you would with like distress or something like that. Oh, that's a lot of water. I didn't mean to do that much, but let me just get a brush and I'll just move that water around. And let's just see what effect we can get just by pressing our paper cardstock into the water. So I have this clear area on this tag, so let's press it on there. Okay, so I see what we're going to get is because I had a lot of water, it's not going to be a strong impression. It's just going to be nice and sparkly. So we can just tap that here and there. And no need to spritz this with water after because it already has the water, right? So tap to make some little dots. Okay, I just wanted to share that with you. See ya.